Hey guys, welcome to Serial at Midnight. We've got 4 new 4K releases that have just landed at Serial at Midnight headquarters. So in this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, on Scrooged, tis the season, it's Christmas time, and it is time to talk about Scrooged. From Paramount Presents, Terms of Endearment, and from Kino Lorber, the classic war film Stalag 17. So, one of the things that I try to do with these videos, with these 4K movie reviews, is to tell you a little bit about the movie and give you the most accessible coverage that I can on whether or not you should upgrade. I leave the deep tech dives to other people, but I do have thoughts about the video quality, the audio quality, what's included, what's not. Let's kick it off with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So this is a movie that a lot of people love. They're going to buy this one way or the other. This movie sells itself. I don't even think this needs a review, although I am glad that I get to review this. For me, I love the Mission Impossible franchise. I love the series probably more than I love the movies now. And in case you don't know, Mission Impossible it's a classic 1960s TV series that ran for years. It was so successful, they brought it back again in the 1980s, and then in the 90s it became a film franchise, but it's rooted in television. I love that TV series. I've done a Blu-ray review right here on the channel. For me, this latest movie is the most comic booky of any of the Mission Impossible movies to come along so far. For me, that's both a good and a bad thing. It now feels an awful lot like a lot of other movies. Mission Impossible kind of always stood out. You can make some comparisons to Bond, because I like the first Mission Impossible movie. I think it's 1 year after GoldenEye. But now more than ever, this feels like, look, I'm not going to spoil the plot for you guys, but there's a MacGuffin that could destroy the entire world, and there's a supervillain, and there's everything but a portal with a light in the sky. It's that kind of a movie. And it's like 2 hours and 43 minutes. It's half the story, it's part 1. But again, this is where Hollywood is right now, and this is what a lot of people want to see. I'm trying to reserve my final judgment on this until I've seen the second part of this. It's shot digitally, and I don't think that... recognizing that digital photography is now, of course, the standard for a variety of reasons, because that's how special effects need to be done, most easily. I just don't think that digital photography captures the best looking image. I'm beholden to film, and so this movie is only going to look so good for me. For me, I think that the difference between the Blu-ray, which I haven't seen because it's not here. There is no Blu-ray version of this film. This is the 4K release with a digital code. I think the upgrade between a 4K and Blu-ray for something shot digitally is not as dramatic as for something shot on film. So we've got our digital code here. We've got the movie on 4K, okay? And it's got the movie and the commentary, things like that. But then there's this is the bonus disc with 30 minutes of bonus features, and it's fairly bite-sized. I think that, again, they make these for streaming. They make these for shorter attention spans. So it's like, oh, tell me about the anatomy of the skydive, the jump, that sort of a thing. The train scene, 5 minutes. I think the longest thing here is 10 minutes. So we've got a disc with 30 minutes of content. That's all that's here. No Blu-ray copy of the film, but we got the movie on 4K. And I should mention, there is a commentary from the director, Christopher McQuarrie, and the editor, Eddie Hamilton. So again, you already know if you want this or not. You know if this is for you or not. For me, it's good. I'd rather have a Blu-ray here as well, and I wish the special features were a little bit more substantial. But video quality wise, look, it's hard to complain about it, because this is up to what the industry standard is right now. Different from that is Scrooged. By the way, do all of these except for Stalag 17 come from Paramount? They do. These are all Paramount. That's really cool. So it's interesting also, because we're gonna get see how Paramount approaches different things, different titles with a different approach. Scrooged, classic 80s holiday film, right? Shot on film. When it comes to Paramount and movies shot on film, we're never exactly sure what we're going to get as far as video, because let's be honest, I think all these studios, I think Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, I think all of them, Disney, they're putting DNR. They're using digital noise reduction for their 4Ks. I've even heard it said, and we'll leave this as hearsay, right? I've even heard it said that they digitally remove all the grain from these transfers, and then artificially we'll reinsert some of that back, which is why it looks so different from like a theatrical print or something like that. Now, I can't verify that. I can't say where I heard that either, but that's something that I've heard, is that they will remove all the grain and put it back in artificially. So I don't know. I will say Scrooged, it makes me pretty happy. It's a little light on grain, but the grain is there. Listen, given some of the drastic revisionist 4K transfers we've gotten in the last year or two, I'll take it. This looks good to me. You know, this is the new if this is the new standard for Scrooged, so be it. It's got this slip cover, and then this, you know, I don't love this art. I do love this. This is the classic poster art. I don't love this. They've taken it, kind of photoshopped the background out of it. We've got, what is Death holding up mistletoe? Yeah, I don't love that. But we got both, right? We got the best of both worlds. The cool thing here is that they've included supplements that we've never had before. So there's a bunch of stuff. Here, I'll hold this up and you can freeze that, but I'm going to talk about these, right? So pause that. But commentary with director Richard Donner, that's great. A Christmas to Remember, updating Ebenezer, bringing the ghost to life, the look of Scrooged, on the set with Bill Murray, and then show us clips with Bill Murray. So none of these are new. These go back to, I believe, the DVD era, but they never got put on a disc. So we're talking about special features that may be 24 years old or so, at least probably 20 years old. I don't know. They've never been on a disc before, to my knowledge. Now look, this video, I'm recording this video before this is even out. Okay, so detective work will be done in the days after this coverage, but having access to the information I have right now, I don't think these special features have ever even been put on a disc before, let alone put on a Blu-ray before, but they're not new. They're standard definition. I guess that's the takeaway here. I should also mention that this has a Dolby HD, a 5.1 English soundtrack. So this is one of those that had stereo. It came out in the theater in Dolby Stereo, which I don't believe is here. So we've got a 5.1 track. Also no Atmos, right? It's 5.1. It's fine. It sounds good. It looks good. It sounds good. This is the new standard for Scrooged. If you're wondering, you know, one of the points I want to do these, like I say, you know, Dead Reckoning Part 1, it sells itself. This might not sell itself. You might be on the fence. Well, I've already got the Blu-ray. This is an upgrade. You should feel good about upgrading this for your 4K collection. Let's talk about Terms of Endearment, part of the Paramount Presents line. This is an amazing movie. This is a 5-time Oscar-winning movie from James L. Brooks, the co-creator of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, of Rhoda, of Taxi, of a little show called The Simpsons. But James L. Brooks he's a comedy writer, comedy filmmaker. He made 6 movies. He's directed 6 movies. This was his first movie. He goes on to broadcast news, wrote and directed broadcast news, wrote and directed... what's the one he did? As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson won an Oscar for this movie. So this is one of those like personal, heartfelt, it's about humans. It's about people. And it's important to me to highlight that because I worry so much. We talk so much about escapist fare. Look, I'm a comic book guy. I'm a cartoon guy. Like, I love superheroes, right? We're talking about Mission Impossible. We're talking about Scrooged, which is a fantasy. I also think that it's cool and important to have emotionally mature films as part of our diet so that we're not just eating candy bars. And this is one of those movies. And again, 5 Oscars. It was Best Picture, Best Director for James L. Brooks, Best Screenplay, I believe, for James L. Brooks, Best Supporting Actor for Jack Nicholson, and I'm forgetting one. Or was that 5? Does it say what the Oscars are here? I should mention the cast while I'm looking at the back of this. It's based on a novel by Larry McMurtry, who's the guy that wrote Lonesome Dove and The Last Picture Show, wasn't he? Deborah Winger, Shirley MacLaine, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, Jeff Daniels, and John Lithgow. Spanning 3 decades, it follows the ups and downs of a mother-daughter relationship with honesty, heart, and laughs. So, good stuff. And I'm really happy to see Paramount promoting, like, you know, grown-up movies. Hey, we got your Mission Impossible. Also, here's movies for grown-ups. That's important to me that I talk about that. This looks good. Again, I suspect there's been some use of digital noise reduction to bring the grain down. There's a new documentary here. This is the filmmaker Focus with James L. Brooks. That's on the Blu-ray. It's not on the 4K. And they show clips of the movie at the beginning of that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's how this movie always looked. It's that gauzy, hazy, cloudy thing. That's gone now. It's clear. It looks really great. But again, I wonder if maybe that grain was a little bit managed. And listen, a lot of people are like, I don't like grain. So, you know, it's an age thing is what I have determined, is that the younger audience likes very crisp, clean image. The older audience kind of likes grain because we grew up with it. You know, I didn't see, digital wasn't even a thing until I was in my 20s. So we got the 2 discs here. And one of the things about these Paramount Presents movies is that they're really putting a focus on the filmmaker, which is why the documentary is called Filmmaker Focus. So we got a quote there from James L. Brooks. That's about it. We got a commentary. Hold on, do we even have a commentary? Commentary by director James. That's a new commentary by James L. Brooks, co-producer Penny Finkelman, Cox, and production designer Polly Platt, and then the filmmaker focus. That's about it. As far as features go, that's about it. So we got the movie on 4K, on Blu-ray, and on digital. But again, it's a big step up from any other edition of this movie, from any previous home video version of this movie. Paramount Presents line usually is a good, and it's Paramount chasing the collector market, right? With the do we call this a gatefold, with this fold out cover. I like that. It feels boutique-ish, you know, so clear upgrade there. Last but not least, maybe the winner of the whole bunch as far as quality goes. This is Stalag 17 from Kino Lorber, another Paramount film. All four of these are Paramount. This is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision Master. All of these have Dolby Vision Masters, by the way. All of these have HDR. From a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative. This is a 1953 movie. It's William Holden, Don Taylor, Otto Preminger. It's a very, very famous, very beloved movie. And it does have HDR. I call that out because sometimes people say, Heath, does a black and white movie really need HDR? Why would they do HDR for a black and white movie? Oh, you can tell. When you don't put HDR in a black and white movie, it's just not as deep. The blacks aren't as deep. HDR really does benefit these black and white movies. So I'm glad to see it. And we don't always see that happen either. Some people put a black and white movie out. They don't do the HDR. So I'm glad that we have that here for Stalag 17. It looks great. By far, hands down, the best this movie has ever looked. Clear upgrade for your collection. This has the original, I believe, I'm looking for it here. It's the 2.0 audio. We have, here, I'm going to hold this up so you can see those extras. You can read the back of the box if you want to. Audio commentary by Steve Mitchell. Combat Films American Realism author Stephen J. Rubin. Another audio commentary by Joseph McBride, the author of Billy Wilder. I should mention it's directed by Billy Wilder. Dancing on the Edge. And then a third audio commentary by actors Richard Erdman and Gil Stratton with co-playwright Donald Bevan. Stalag 17 from reality to screen featurettes and the real heroes of Stalag 17B featurettes. This does not, I don't think this has, no reversible art wrap here, but we've got the movie on 4K and the movie on Blu-ray. All the special features are on the Blu-ray disc. Well, not all. The 4K disc has the commentary. All the video features are on the Blu-ray. Really well done. So that's this batch of 4Ks. I feel good about all of these. It's like recommending all of these. The one that I'm the most on the fence about is the one that's the newest and the most modern, and the one that's not shot on film. So go figure. But I'm grateful that I get to review all of these. So thanks to Paramount for sending these over, and Kino Lorber. Thanks to you guys for checking out this coverage. We focus so much on tech talk, and again, I try to avoid as much of that as possible and just keep it in plain, simple terms, approachable terms, give you my thoughts on the movie. We do talk a lot about tech specs, so let's talk about these movies. What are your memories of Scrooged? What did you think about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning? Have you seen Terms of Endearment? And if you have, what do you think about it? And let's talk about Stalag 17. So I appreciate you guys. Take care. Till next time. By the way, links in the description for all four of these in this in the description of this episode. So you don't have to go hunt for them. If you click through those links, you're supporting Cereal at Midnight as well. So thank you for doing that. Take care, guys. Until next time, I will catch you later.